Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of Cruise News. And in today's episode, Hurricane Idalia is wreaking havoc in the Gulf, and there are some cruise changes. I'll go over some of those. P&O Cruises had one of their ships drift away from the port and actually crash into a tanker. I'll go over that and what damage has been found on that ship. And also, Carnival has announced the name and date of opening for their new private destination in the Bahamas. All three of these news stories are in today's episode of Cruise News. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the video. It's been a while since I've done a cruise news video, but finally, decided to go ahead and get one in there, especially with all the hurricane stuff going on. It's actually starting to hit us. I do live in Central Florida. We're getting the first outer bands of the storm. That's why it's kind of dark in here, even though I'm filming this midday. So hopefully you can see everything well. But I do have three news stories to get into for cruising, so let's go ahead and get right into these stories. All right, unless you've been living under a rock or just never watched the news, you do know that there is a storm that is churning, started out around the Yucatan Peninsula there in Cozumel, Cuba area, and is now went to a tropical storm and has now become a hurricane, and that is Hurricane Idalia. That is forecasted to become a Category 3 when it hits landfall, somewhere in kind of, well, if the models are correct, which they've been pretty steady, somewhere in kind of like the armpit of the panhandle of Florida. I'm in the Tampa area, and we are already feeling the effects of it now, but there are some cruise changes because of that. The first one is going to be from the Carnival Conquest. They were originally supposed to go to Key West and to stop in Cozumel. Obviously, they're not cutting through that storm to go to Cozumel, so both of those ports were canceled. And instead of going west from, I think it was Miami is where I left them. So instead of going west, they'll be heading east. They will actually be visiting the Bahamas. They're going to stop off in Nassau and Bimini. So those are the two changes instead of Key West and Cozumel, and that is for the Carnival Conquest. Currently, as of today when I'm filming this, which is Tuesday, the Port of Tampa is closed to inbound traffic, so no ships can come in. I don't know who would be out there because I've already seen webcams from the coast. It's already getting nasty out there, so I'm couldn't imagine any ship would be out there anyway, but it is closed to inbound traffic. That's fine because there were no cruise ships. It's not going to affect any cruise ships. The next two cruise ships that are supposed to come in will occur on Thursday. Now, the storm, like I said, this is Tuesday afternoon. The storm is expected to hit landfall early, like this morning or tomorrow morning, like 2 a.m.-ish. So technically early Wednesday is when it's supposed to hit landfall. Two ships are coming in Thursday, still scheduled to come in Thursday as of me recording this. That is going to be the Carnival Paradise and Royal Caribbean Serenade of the Seas, both scheduled to go in. I'm assuming that, the storm is moving pretty fast. By Thursday, hopefully they'll be able to go in, unless there's some kind of damage. I don't think, the way they're talking about it, Tampa's not going to sustain too much damage except for water, because the storm is going to, you pass by the eye of the storm during high tide, and then it's the highest tide of the month for that day. So there could be some storm damage, storm surge damage, I should say. I don't know if that's going to affect anything at the port, but if there is, and there are any updates, I'll of course put that out in another video. But as of right now, both of those ships, the Paradise and the Serenade of the Seas, still expected to go into port in Tampa on Thursday. All right, in other storm news, but slightly different, this past Sunday, P&O Cruises Britannia, during a freak storm there, got loose of its moorings. Where have we heard that before? Loose of its moorings and drifted into a tanker ship, collided with a tanker ship that was also docked there. That happened on Sunday. They did go over some of the damage, and there was in fact damage to one of the lifeboats. One of the lifeboats and some of the lifeboat equipment was damaged. So therefore, P&O has announced that some of the passengers on that ship will in fact have to debark the ship and be flown back to the UK, where they're from. It won't be the entire everybody, but just certain ones. Because this apparently affected one of the lifeboats on there, and per regulations, since probably Titanic, you have to make sure that there are enough lifeboats for the amount of people you have on the ship, because that one is damaged and can't be used. Now those numbers are off, so some people will in fact have to debark and be flown home. They didn't announce how exactly that process is going to work, whether they're going to ask for people that might want to go because they don't feel safe on the ship anymore, or whether they're just going to make whoever was assigned to where that would be make those people go. So it's not 100%. They have, or at least they haven't announced how they're going to decide who in fact gets flown home, but it will only be a certain number of people, I guess, that would cover that lifeboat. So not everybody on the cruise ship will. If I get any further information on that, though, of course, I will let you know in a future video. All right, and since every cruise line apparently has to have their own private destination in the Bahamas, Carnival is also getting in on this. Of course, Royal Caribbean has the Coco Cay, and then MSC has their own little, I can't remember what it's called, Ocean Key or something like that. So Carnival is going to have their own private destination. It's not their own private island, but their own private destination. This is actually going to be located on Grand Bahama. But they did announce that the name and the opening date, well, the opening month, I should say, it will be called Celebration Key is the name of Carnival's new private area there on the Bahamas. And they did say will open in July of 2025. So a little less than 2 years from now. Will open then. Apparently the construction began May of 2022. So this is definitely a lengthy project. May of 2022 with a cool price tag of $200 million for Celebration Key. Some of the things that will be at Celebration Key are a nature reserve. Bahamian-run retail options will be available. It will have dining outlets, obviously, art displays, and more. All of that will be part of their, special little private section. Like I said, it's not an island. It's not a private, not like a Coco Cay. They don't own the whole thing. Just a section, I guess, area that they have that they're going to be doing. Now, if you are interested in possibly going to Celebration Key, Carnival will be opening up cruises, the itineraries that will be going there towards the end of September. They will go on sale. So look for that at the end of September. So in about a month from now, Carnival will release some of the sailings that will be one of the itineraries for their new Celebration Key. Like I said, that's going to be opening in July of 2025. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for another episode of Cruise News. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about today's news stories. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and enjoy all of the luxurious videos that I post here on 88 Mile Per Hour Adventures, including cruise news and theme park news and vlogging all of our adventures. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as always, everybody, thanks so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.